Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about why you need a great accountant, not just a good one, but a great one. If you start thinking and looking at your business, many of us got into the landscape business or lawn maintenance business because we're good at it, or we need another job, or you did this before and you thought, I could do this on my own. But what you start to realize is that there are so many different things you need to learn as being a business owner. You have the salesmanship, you have HR if you have employees, you have customer service. There's just so many different aspects. And it could be a lot. It could be a lot on you. And one of the things we wanted to talk about today is one of the shortcomings that we see a lot of people fall into, the trap they fall into, and that's understanding their financial side of things. They just don't understand it. They don't know it. It's not that they're not smart enough. They just don't know what they don't know. And this is one of the things we see landscapers fall short of.
Yeah, all the time. So hang on for a quick sec while we have a quick word from our sponsors, and we will be right back and talk about why you need to hire a great accountant, not just a good one.
That's right.
All right, we'll be right back.
The only app every landscaper needs. Company Cam makes it dead simple to communicate, document, and problem solve with guys in the field, no matter where you are. Company Cam brings documentation, communication, and liability protection together in one simple, easy-to-use app for you and your entire team. Take unlimited photos and videos, share custom reports, create flawless before and afters, and even communicate and share progress with homeowners with galleries and project timelines, all from your smartphone. Company Cam, the only app every landscaper needs. Check it out at companycam.com/million or in your app store.
If you run a landscape or lawn care business, you know the work never ends. There's customer service, hiring staff, mountains of paperwork. The to-do list just goes on and on. Plus, you still need to do the actual work that pays your bills. Running your entire business with pen and paper alone is just hard and really plain messy. You know you need a better system to stay on top of everything so nothing falls through the cracks. Jobber is a mobile and online app that helps keep your business organized and looking more professional than ever. With Jobber, you can quote jobs, schedule your crews, send out invoices, accept payments online, all in one place. You won't know how you ran your business without it. Jobber offers free one-on-one coaching to help get you started, and there's no software experience needed. Get paid on time, go paperless, and impress your customers. Try it for free today at getjobber.com/MDL. This podcast is brought to you by Busy. Busy is so simple to use, and it's the most reliable GPS time tracking app on the market. And the best part is, it was built for landscapers. Busy's founder created Busy because he owns multiple construction companies and needed to understand better which projects were making him money and which projects were killing him. Payroll is the highest variable cost in the project, so you better be tracking it. Busy does this better than anyone else. So download Busy today, and don't forget to mention the $1 Million Landscaper podcast to get 3 free months.
We want to take a quick second to tell you about our friends over at Cycle CPA. I can't even express to you how important it is to have a good accountant on your side. You know you want accurate bookkeeping and financial statements every month. Instead, you're often left with limited time to focus on the accounting side of your business and no reports to show for it. At Cycle CPA, the landscaping accountants, they not only handle the bookkeeping, but also provide landscape industry benchmarking, job costing, financials by service line, advisory meetings, and much more. Cycle CPA has a team of landscaping accountants available to provide anything from bookkeeping to CFO services. Visit cyclecpa.com, and for $100 off, mention the $1 Million Landscaper podcast. If you want to get the leads you want and turn your current clients into raving fans, then you need to try SendJim. They've created an exclusive offer just for our listeners. If you sign up today, you can get your first month for just $2. So if you haven't already, go to sendjim.io/MDL, where you can get even more exclusive deals just for $1 Million Landscaper podcast listeners. That's sendjim.io/MDL, and take advantage of these awesome deals today.
All right. So now trust me, this is something that we had a problem with early on. We didn't understand all our financial stuff. So don't feel like we just came out of the gate knowing all this stuff.
Absolutely did not. I remember going to the accountant, because we all went, And I remember sitting in there and being like, well, I hope somebody else knows what he's talking about. Like, I just sat there and smiled and, like, kind of assumed your parents knew what was going on because they'd been at it longer. I kind of thought, I was hoping you knew what was going on because you had been in the family business way longer than me. I just sat there and, like, shook my head and was like, well, I hope somebody knows what's going on because I do not.
I remember thinking the same thing. They might as well have been speaking another foreign language to you because I had no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
I would catch a few things here and there that, we didn't make enough money or that we owed on our taxes or something like that.
Well, and the bad part about us not knowing what they were talking about, not only then did we not understand what they were telling us, we didn't understand what they weren't telling us. So we didn't really fully grasp at first that we had a bad accountant. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say bad accountant, not useful to a green industry business accountant.
Yeah.
There's that nicer way to say it.
Well, that, and I think and it's been decades since
this has been a long time ago.
But I remember thinking, they're not really helping us do what we need to do to grow our business. They weren't helping educate us and teach us some of these things. They just tell us, we really relied
They basically just did our taxes.
That's exactly
That's
right.
pretty much it.
Yeah, we didn't ask them for anything else. They didn't offer us advice throughout the year or anything like that. It was just a bad experience. And
I honestly just didn't know any better. I didn't know
true.
that you could have an accountant that could help you with anything above and beyond doing your taxes. I honestly thought that's just what they do and that's it. And
yeah, well, that's how my theory was too, and my thought was too. And it wasn't until we really started sitting down and talking to other businesses about who they had doing their tax or who they had for their account, I should say, and speaking to other landscape professionals and on what their accountant did for them. It wasn't until then we realized, our accountant's not doing anything like these accountants were.
No. Not even remotely close. And I'm just griping. And they were always like doing our taxes late as well. It's like extension after extension after extension.
Yeah.
So not only were they not helping as much as they could have, I'm like, I don't know if it harmed us, but it was annoying to just always be waiting for our taxes to be filed.
Well, and
anyway.
they just didn't. The biggest thing is they weren't educating us. They weren't saying, okay, well, if you did this would happen, or
right.
let's create a budget for you, or let's work on cash flow. None of this came out of their mouths. It was just
never. No.
It was just here's what you made this year. Sign here. Here's your taxes, and we'll get them done for you.
Yeah, that was it. You are correct.
And that it wasn't good. Like I said, we didn't realize it until we started speaking to others. So that's why we hope you gather this from us today, that your accountant should do more for you than just your taxes. That's the whole gist of this today.
Yes, they absolutely can. Well, because it falls into the category of sometimes you just need to find out who can help you. You don't need to figure out how to do it yourself. You're not an accountant. You don't need to figure it out. You just need to figure out who do it for you, because your team doesn't just consist of you and the people that work directly for you. Your team includes these external sources like this as well. And a good accountant can totally be a part of your team. It's just if you think of it in that realm, not just like, I never thought of our accountant as being like part of our team and helping with our business and stuff. It was just like, it's just this person we hired to do this.
Yeah.
But when you get a great accountant, they're part of your team. That's part of your external team, because you don't need to figure it out. You just need to figure out who that accountant is that can help you.
Yeah, they should be really assessing what you're doing in your business, can help you kind of pinpoint some of the issues that are going on, or suggest certain things that based on the information that they learned from you. And, it's up to you to take that and go from there, but they should be doing these types of things. Like we said earlier, the cash flow is a huge thing. Like, understanding, there's...
I didn't understand cash flow for a long time. I really didn't.
And most people don't. And I didn't either at first, but when you start really looking into it, it's not that hard. It's not that difficult.
No, it's not. But I didn't understand what it meant, and nobody explained it well, and so I just didn't know. And once again, I just sat around hoping that somebody else knew what they were talking about.
And it really took us a long time, because I remember we had a consultant too at one point talking about the cash flow, and I still was like, it's like getting another language. So it just you have to have somebody that will help sit down and teach you, and this is what an accountant should be doing for you.
Right. And if you can have one that is specific to the green industry, that is even better. Or even the trades. If you are looking for somebody local, the chances of finding somebody local that is green industry specific, that might be harder to do. You could maybe find somebody who's at least like trades specific.
And yeah, I agree with that to a certain point. Like, but there, with technology nowadays and Zoom and everything else.
Well, that's why I said if you want to find somebody
Yeah.
local to you. But if you are not, some people are a little bit leery about doing things like this remote, online,
yeah.
having somebody do it remotely. If you want to go online and do it, then I'm sure you've heard the commercials in our podcast. If you've listened to this for any amount of time, Cycle CPA is who we recommend all the time because Carla and her team over there are amazing and they are green industry specific. And so if you are willing to go and do it online, then you don't have that limiting factor of trying to find somebody that is in proximity to you location wise.
And the nice thing of having somebody that's specific to the green industry, they can typically give you some like industry standards or some KPIs that you should be
Key performance indicators. Well, not everybody knows what KPIs means. Those are just performance indicators, and especially having benchmarks and KPIs that are specific to the green industry.
Well, and to bring that point up, I literally just got off a group coaching call with our academy members, and they just had Carla go over some of this stuff, and one of the things he was
Do they use Carla?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
And they use Carla from Cycle CPA, and they gave their team, I don't know if it's Carla or whoever, but they gave them some of these industry standards, which was nice because he was trying to put together his budget. And he was trying to figure out what you need to charge based on his budget. But anyhow, but they gave him some of these key KPIs that industry benchmarks that he should have been shooting for, and we're trying to figure out how to get to them and whatnot from there. But it's nice having those kind of things, and that's
right. Well, because if you've got those good KPIs and good benchmarks from somebody like Cycle CPA, then what we do in the academy is help you meet or beat those benchmarks. So we have the tools to help you excel and make more money and do better than just like the baseline for the green industry. But it is good to work with somebody that is going to at least help keep you on, help keep you on track to that. So that's one of the reasons I like working with Cycle CPA is because even before we kind of partnered up with them, we had some of our members go to them, and then in talking to Carla, she's like, okay, your people's numbers are spot on and it is working. And so it's really just kind of worked out to be a real good relationship because we get each other. Okay, what we're doing makes sense for what they're doing on the accounting end. So it just works out really nice. It's a nice little partnership.
So again, just try to find somebody that's in the industry or knows at least.
I'm sure others exist.
But and at the very least understands like the service industry as a whole. That's kind of important. The next thing that accountant should be doing is helping you with your cash flow, like we said earlier. This is a big one.
Cash flow forecasting, like say you want to buy a truck or a big piece of equipment. That should be something that they can kind of help you figure out. Can you afford it? Or if I can't afford it now, when can I afford it? What do I need to do to be able to afford it?
Yeah. And this is an interesting stat. I actually pulled this from Carla's website, but it was Intuit's study. Intuit is one that makes QuickBooks. They're like the creator of it. But they found that 61% of small businesses around the world struggle with cash flow, and nearly a third of them are unable to pay the vendors, pay back pending loans, or pay themselves or even employees due to cash flow issues.
Well, I remember having this problem. Like, you need to make payroll, and you're just sitting there waiting because, there's one big check that hasn't come in yet. It's like, oh, that $5,000 check is going to make or break whether or not I can pay payroll for the month.
So,
or 2 weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it is important.
But it was a cash flow problem.
Exactly. And that's where, a good accountant should be able to help you figure out and create these cash flow charts and stuff to figure out, there's going to be a lull at the end of this April or whatever it is because you're not getting
this industry does ebb and flow quite a bit unless you're lucky enough to happen to be in an area where you can kind of keep going all the time. Most of us though have a for sure ebb and flow on season, off season.
So again, just find somebody that can help you create this and help you understand how to read it and how to decipher it once you get this. The next big thing is they can help you prevent an audit.
And I didn't know this. I never really thought about this.
Yeah, they don't, they do things in a certain way. And a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times you can get audited just from errors. So if you're doing your taxes on your own or, you buy some of those tax programs out there.
You get back in the day, you'd get the free CD in the mail. That's probably not a thing anymore.
No, I don't think so. But doing those types of things, and there's a good chance you might make an error on something. You obviously it's probably not intentional, but you make
Sure.
an error on it, or you're taking too much money or giving too much as a charity item or something like that. That's going to set out some red flags. Where an accountant, they can see some of these things that you've entered in and be like, oh, hey, this is not right. Let's correct this.
Yes. Once again, for some things in your business, it's just more important to figure out who can do it for you instead of figuring out how to do it yourself.
Yeah, and because nobody wants to get audited. I mean, we've had an accountant for forever, but it still happens. But this definitely cuts it down, and they can help you prepare for the audit if it does happen. So that's the biggest thing. But those are really the biggest things that we say. I know there's other things out there, but those are the biggest things. Is basically find somebody that can help you. Look at your cash flow, assess your financial situation, pinpoint and help explain how things work and operate in your business.
And this is all just to make your life easier. It's one less thing you got to stress about, and just having financial acumen, the knowledge, and the security that comes from knowing how to read your statements and knowing what is going on with your business is invaluable. So that's kind of my take on it.
and again, I know we're talking a lot about Cycle CPA, but one of the great things they do is they have meetings with you, and it depends on the plan that you're going with, whether it's monthly or quarterly or yearly. I guess it just depends on their plans. But having somebody actually can look at your business, tell you, hey, this is good, this is not good, or they can even be like, they have CFO positions too. Like they can be the person that tells you, hey, now's a good time to buy a truck, or now's the time to invest in equipment or hire more people. Somebody that has that knowledge based on the numbers in your business is a good choice.
We'll have their website in the show notes and everything. Definitely go check it out because once again, if you don't have a whole bunch of financial knowledge, it might be worth it to pay somebody to have like that kind of that CFO type of position, or like I said, just meeting with them quarterly might make all the difference in the world as to how you are managing your money in your business.
And like, I don't know, I remember exactly where they started price point, but I think they're like starting at like $350. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's like $350. You may be thinking, oh, I can't afford that. That's a lot of money. But what it can save you and help predict you and help your business grow will probably pay dividends.
It will pay for itself. I mean, I get it. I understand, especially when you're first starting out, it's that struggle between when can I afford to pay for help versus I'm still like just, grit and teeth and doing everything myself. But just, I would say a good accountant, I would put them at the top of the list of being one of the first things that you hire out.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we'll put the link in the show notes, but definitely check out Cycle CPA. We have many members of our academy that are with them, and I've never heard one bad thing about Carla and her team over there. So definitely go check them out. That's worth at least speaking to them about. So.
At least check out their webpage, and if you can't afford it right now, put that on your to-do list, is to get to the point where you can.
One thing I will point out, they do have bilingual speakers there too. So
that works out nice as well.
Yeah, one of our academy members speaks Spanish.
Predominantly Spanish.
Their father speaks Spanish, so they were able to speak to them very well. So just kind of want to point that out. Just
nice little.
Popped in my head. So.
Sure. So, all right, you got some questions for me before we get out of here?
All right. Who would you most like to sit next to on a 10-hour flight, and why?
No one.
No one.
My dog? Can I bring my dog?
I don't think you can bring your dog out. There's nobody that pops out in your head that you would like to sit to and have a conversation with.
For 10 hours? I'll think about it.
Okay. All right. What's something weird that you recommend everyone tries at least once?
Chocolate covered gummy bears. They sound disgusting, but they're delicious.
Nice. We have a great gummy bear factory near us. So.
Oh yeah, Albity's candy. I'm sure it's sold worldwide, but it is right here local, and they have the best gummy bears and the best chocolate. And so then when you put them together, it's like I thought they would be disgusting at first. I'm like, ew, why would I mix those things? But then I tried one, and I'm like, why would I not mix these things?
There you go. All right, last one. If you're reincarnated as a famous landmark, what would it be?
Like a specific one, I could be like a national park.
A national park?
Yeah,
okay.
Kati Mulchan National Park. That would be amazing. And I guess if I had to sit next to someone on a plane, it would be you.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Well, it's only because if you were bugging me, I could be like, "You're bugging me. Please stop." So that's really why.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. Hope you have a great day.